Everyone says Marrakesh is chaotic, but that's only true if you travel it wrong. Most visitors sprint through the Medina and tap out by day 2. This is the slower rhythm the locals know. 3 days that turn the city from exhausting to hypnotic. Day 1. The Medina and rooftop views. Start early before the heat and the noise set in. The first stop, Ben Yusuf Madrasa, feels almost sacred at this hour. If you're staying at Les Yeux Bleus, or the more affordable Riad Nelia, a few streets away, you're already in exactly the right spot to begin. The 14th century madrasa opens to gentle light gliding across carved cedar and turquoise tiles. Climb the narrow stairs. From above, the courtyard looks like it was built by someone trying to capture silence in architecture. As the city's narrow lanes stretch awake, wander a few turns to Dar El Bacha, Museum of Confluences. Inside the palace, Bacha Coffee hums softly. Waiters pour golden pots of single-origin Arabica with surgeon-steady hands. Tiny cups, but enormous flavor. Insider tip: skip the riad breakfast one morning and start here instead. Arrive as the doors open when the palace is nearly empty. Just coffee, birds, and sunlight dripping through carved arches. It's the calmest 5 minutes you'll spend in Marrakesh. Come mid-morning, the city's tempo rises. Shutters lift, scooters buzz, spices bloom into the air. Venture into the Souks, the twisting markets that make this city famous. Begin at Souk de Tanturier, the Dyers quarter where threads in crimson and cobalt hang overhead like wet ribbons. Men stir steaming vats of color in the same pits their grandfathers used. Stop for a minute and watch the flow. No tour, no sales pitch, just craft. Let instinct take it from there. Follow the smell of tanned leather, the sparkle of brass lamps, or a flash of woven rugs. Haggling here is performance art. Start low, laugh often, and enjoy the back and forth. As the sun climbs, the alleys tighten and the air thickens. Time to rise above it. La Mida, perched over Place des Épices, serves lamb tagine and mint lemonade against a skyline of rooftops. Across the square, Café des Épices offers the simpler route: grilled sandwiches, fresh juice, and an excellent opportunity for people watching. When the heat finally loosens its grip, shift gears. Bahia Palace opens its gates to cooler air and mellower light. It's a showcase of painted ceilings, stained glass, and mosaic floors built for a vizier's, a royal minister's, favorite wife. The kind of place that makes you want to redecorate your whole life. Bahia is luxury preserved, while a short walk away, Badi Palace shows luxury lost. Storks perch on broken walls, orange trees grow through cracked stone, and the mountains watch from afar. Together, they tell Marrakesh's truth. Beauty never stays still. As daylight eases, the call to prayer threads through the sky. 5 notes that turn the city from day to night. Follow them toward Jemaa el-Fna, the open-air theater. By the time you arrive, the square is alive with pounding drummers, rising smoke, and the aroma of cumin and citrus fighting for your attention. Climb to a balcony at Café de France, order mint tea, and let the chaos play out below. Snake charmers, storytellers, flickering lanterns, 1,000 tiny scenes, sharing, moving as one. When you're ready to eat, make your way to Nomad for modern Moroccan plates like a beef and lamb burger, saffron cauliflower, and the best rooftop glow in the city. If you're still chasing that evening breeze, slip up to Dardar Rooftop, where low light, crafted cocktails, and a 360-degree skyline bring the day to a slow fade. Wander back through the old city's calmer veins as metal shutters clang shut and cats slip between stalls. You've traded confusion for curiosity and found the rhythm most travelers miss. Somewhere between mint tea and moonlight, Marrakesh starts to feel like yours. Tomorrow, you'll trade the city's heartbeat for mountain silence, the road curling higher until lunch is served halfway to the clouds. And if you're loving this kind of detailed planning, hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's itinerary, explored like an insider. Day 2, a day in the Atlas Mountains. The alarm hits earlier than yesterday, but you certainly won't regret it. You're heading for the Atlas Mountains, booking a small group or private trip through VA Tour or Get Your Guide. Most drivers arrive around 8:30 a.m., just as the city stretches awake. The van slips past the city's edge and the red walls recede into open country. Dust gives way to olive groves. In the distance, the high Atlas rises like a mirage, growing clearer with every kilometer. The road curls through a few switchbacks and every turn drops into another valley and another wow moment. Less than an hour in, you roll into a Berber village near Taha Naut. It's not a staged stop. Life keeps happening around you. Bread bakes inside clay ovens blackened by years of use. Kids chase a worn soccer ball across dusty courtyards. Women weave carpets in open doorways. Your guide usually knows a family who will wave you in for refreshments and conversation. Back on the road, it starts to feel cool and the mountains close in. Stone homes cling to the slopes as you enter Imlil Valley, gateway to Mount Tubukal, North Africa's tallest peak. The hike from here is gentle, just enough to stretch your legs. Walnut trees arch overhead, water spills from hidden falls, and terraces stack up the hillside like stairs to the sky. Your guide points out how farmers still till these terraces by hand. Donkeys haul supplies where no car could ever reach. Life moves slower here, yet somehow feels more vibrant. When midday arrives, a terrace appears through the trees. Lunch is waiting at a guest house such as Dar Imlil or a similar mountain inn. A clay tagine bubbles over coals, bread comes out of the oven seconds before it hits the table, and refreshing tea pours from high overhead, a Moroccan flourish that crowns each cup in foam. Peaks stretch in every direction with clouds drifting low enough to almost touch. Children sometimes gather near the trail, curious and smiling. Instead of coins, bring a few small gifts from home. Pencils, stickers, postcards. It's a simple kindness that keeps the exchange real. When the plates are clear, sit back and let the mountain silence do the talking. The only sound is wind in the walnut branches and the clink of glasses. Eventually, it's time to descend. The van snakes back toward the city, pausing at Muley Brahim Gorge, a 5-minute stop that earns every second. Red cliffs, a twisting river, an afternoon light that turns the rock into embers. No filter required. As the city reappears around 6 p.m., it feels different this time. The streets that felt chaotic yesterday suddenly make sense. Its rhythm isn't noise, it's heartbeat. You just needed a day of quiet to hear it. Upon returning to the city, if there's still energy left, book a table at Fassia Guéliz, the women-run favorite where lamb shoulder and flaky pastilla melt on contact. You'll notice the dining room humming with locals who know it's the real deal. Prefer to end the night at your riad? Most will cook on request. Candlelight, homemade couscous, maybe a distant drum echoing from the Medina. After the mountains, simple hits differently. Day 2 gave you silence and space. On your final day, the calm follows you back into the city, through cobalt gardens, modern art, and one final view that brings the journey full circle. Day 3, gardens, art, and cafe culture. It's your last day in Marrakesh, and we're going out on a high note. Color, calm, and a view that sums up everything you've seen so far. Start at Jardin Majorelle, a cobalt blue dream built by painter Jacques Majorelle and later saved by Yves Saint Laurent. Arrive early while dew still clings to the bamboo and the pathways echo lightly underfoot. Palms frame the blue villa, fountains whisper over tiled basins. It feels less like a garden and more like stepping inside a painter's memory. Right next door waits the Yves Saint Laurent Museum, a sculpted shell of rose stone and shadow that honors Morocco's influence on his work. Displays move from rough sketches to runway gowns under dim cinematic light. Stepping back into the daylight, grab a quiet table at Le Studio Café. Cappuccino comes rich, and for a few minutes you can just sit and listen to birdsong mixed with distant traffic. By mid-morning, trade botanical calm for urban cool by hopping in a quick taxi to Gueliz, Marrakesh's modern side with wide boulevards, art deco facades, and design boutiques replacing the Medina's chaos. Lunch lands at Mizan, the sister restaurant to Lamida. Inside, rose light and brass accents glow around kefta sliders, beet salads, and mocktails bright with mint. Everything moves unhurried. Even time itself seems to lean back here. Fed and happy, creativity takes the lead again. A few blocks away, Comptoir des Mines Galerie fills a 1930s mansion with Moroccan and African contemporary art. Sunlight pours through tall arches onto modern canvases and sculpted metal. Entrance is free to this pocket of calm, which provides an unexpected moment before the day winds down. By early afternoon, the light sharpens, calling for a garden escape. Slip back toward the maze of old lanes and step through the unassuming gate of Le Jardin Secret, a restored 19th century palace split into two worlds, one Islamic, symmetrical and serene, the other exotic, wild and green. Water trickles through stone channels while turtles sun themselves on mosaic steps. Insider tip: arrive about an hour before sunset and climb the tower just as the call to prayer rises from every direction when, for one suspended moment, the city feels like it's breathing with you. When the evening slides in gently, this is the moment for one last view. Sky Bar at Bab Hotel. Order a drink and watch the Atlas Mountains dissolve into indigo. Conversations will drift between tables in half a dozen languages, all of them slower now. Dinner belongs to La Famille, hidden behind an unmarked wall in a tucked-away back street. Inside, lemon trees glow under string lights and gentle music hums over handmade pasta and vegetarian tagines. It's calm, intimate, and the kind of place where nobody looks at their phone. Reservations here are a must. When you finally step outside, the night feels softer than it did 3 days ago. You've learned the city's rhythm: fast, slow, then slower still. 3 days in Marrakesh trace a full heartbeat, its streets in motion, the mountains' silence, and the gardens' calm. You've wandered palaces, shared moments with families halfway up the Atlas, and watched the city exhale beneath sunset light. Every trip worth taking ends too soon, but the feelings stay with you. Comment below: Medina energy, mountain silence, or garden calm? Which would you choose first? Share your thoughts below. We read every comment and love hearing how you'd spend your own perfect 3 days here. We'll see you next weekend with another detailed itinerary built for travelers who love depth over checklists.